What's going on, guys? Back again on location. Today's Woodman Fen. Basically, I'm not a certified naturalist, so bear with me, but basically fens are like a rare type of wetland. Back in older times in Ohio, they were, covered up many of, acres of the land. Now, due to development and other reasons, they kind of just been cleared out and there's not too many left. So this is actually probably one of Dayton's only fens, besides Siebenthaler Fen in Beaver Creek, which is also another amazing one. And the reason why they're just so important is just because they host such a diverse plant and wildlife species. So lots of birds that are kind of unusual for the area come to these kind of fens. The difference between a fen and a bog or a marsh is that fens are actually less acidic because the water comes from underground, whereas the marshes, the water comes from rainwater or anything over top. So basically all year fens they host a diverse plant life. Actually, the main reason I'm here today is because someone told me on a previous trip recently, they recommended I go to the Woodman Fen, which is not too far from here, which I might go on another trip soon now that he told me this, but he said there's some nesting great horned owls there, which I thought was pretty cool. See if I can stay here after dark and try and photograph them. But right now I'm just going to kind of scout the location and then see if I can find, maybe their nest, or even if I see them flying around, hopefully, who knows. Obviously great horned owls are usually after dark. I don't know, we'll just get started, see what we find here. As you explore along the boardwalk, you forget you are in a city. First, notice the several types of grasses and sedges growing throughout the fen. From spring to fall, many blooming plants will be on display, including skunk cabbage, queen of the prairie, and jewelweed. Birdwatchers will delight in a variety of species, as Woodman Fen has one of the highest hummingbird populations within Five Rivers Metro Parks. The fen has rich peat soils fed by underground water and runoff. Fens provide important benefits to the watershed, such as filtering runoff. A fen is different than a bog. A bog is filled from rainfall and runoff and has more acidic soils, whereas a fen is fed by underground water sources, typically higher in calcium, so it is less acidic. A fen can support many more diverse plant and animal communities. Now, where could that great horned owl nest be? I'm hearing a lot of pretty common birds you might find in wetlands, like red-winged blackbirds and northern cardinals. I did hear a red-shouldered hawk, kind of way off on the other side of the fen compared to where I am, but I just wanted to point out, I'm not sure if I said this before in other videos, but just the importance, at least this is my philosophy, obviously it's different for everyone else, but for me personally, the photo is more important than the video. The video is always secondary, but when I go to a sunrise, sunset, or I'm in a hurry, or there's a really kind of like fleeting moment where I just I need to capture it, and the photo is always more important to me, and then the video is kind of secondary. I don't know, I'm just saying that right now just because I thought of it, but matter to what I'm doing right here, which is more flower photography. I don't know, I just remember that just because of there's been times where I'm just like, I get caught up on trying to make like a good decent B-roll or video, and I realize I get more video than photos, and I want to do more of the photos. But even in the short time I've been shooting, doing filmmaking and all that kind of stuff, I've really figured, I really kind of found my kind of niche, I guess, and I kind of found the way I want to edit photos and the style I want to, portray. Anyways, over here we got some more flowers. They're blooming. We've got this nice little patch that's just right along the side trail here, which is pretty cool. So the lighting's kind of indirect, so I might switch it to like spot metering mode or something like that, just because of all the different shadows. But I'm going to experiment more with using the external flash. I've definitely recently been enjoying all the, the macro photography, and especially all the flowers. It really helps build the portfolio, I guess. Last year I got tons of them, especially at places like James Ranch Garden, which I'll definitely be revisiting probably in the next month or so. It's just been a joy to work on them, and especially even more of a joy to just edit these flower photos and just make them look really stunning, burst them with a whole bunch of color and saturation. Or even sometimes do, like, for more a subdued look, you could do, you can convert them to black and white. Good thing about photographing these flowers is just because it's in the shade, so I'm getting kind of sunburned in my arms. Anyways, another thing I've been thinking about lately is just the whys of why I do this, the whys of photography. I'm not so much the broader perspective. I've done that a lot before thinking about, and I've made a blog post about it. But just more so just down to the nitty gritty, just like the why of which subjects I choose. Like, to be completely honest, I mean, I love all of nature. Like, I mean, let's get that straight. But I'm not too interested in photographing like marine life and marine wildlife. You know, anything that isn't like water long exposure. Like, I'm not too concerned. I don't focus on like fish and whales. And same goes for like maybe like the African savanna kind of wildlife. But then again, it's just because I haven't had the chance really to. I love looking at photos like that, of course, because there's other photographers that do it amazingly, and maybe I just haven't had the chance to do it so much just because I'm in Ohio. Anyways, I was just thinking as I'm photographing, you know, with the macro and the flowers once again, is just the reason why maybe in this case. Let's just give this as an example. It's just because I like the fragility of flowers. I don't know. I guess that kind of reminds me of me, I guess, if that makes sense. I just like how it's like, you know, they bloom, they're all beautiful for a while, and then they just decay and die, and then they come back the next season. And I don't know. I just like it's interesting to think about that life cycle, and just, you know, like I said, fragility is how I describe it. Just if it was one word, you know, I'd describe it as fragility. Got a few more hours of daylight, and I've barely explored the fen here, but I'm going to keep on going, and, you know, we'll see what we find. Birds, flowers, owls, I hope, anything. So anything goes. It's really wet and muddy though on this loop trail that I'm kind of going around, but we'll make do. So far I've been searching tooth and comb, and I haven't found any possible real nest sites for this great horned owl that everyone's been telling me about. I actually passed by someone else on the trail here, and they said there's been some owls here, and they didn't know where the nest site is, of course, either. I don't know. I'm checking real high up on the trees, like I heard like up to 50 to 80 feet, which luckily for a fen like this, there's a lot of tall trees. I just don't know. I don't know where it would be. A few more hours of daylight, so I guess we'll just see what happens. Hoping to come out near sunset. I mean, if we see them, it'd be awesome, of course. If I actually get a photo, that'd be even more amazing. But if I don't see them, then it's not a bust, you know. It's already been a pretty good day so far. So right now, I'm just back at the car. I don't know if I'm gonna find this great horned owl. I'm not like an expert. I certainly like to learn, so that's kind of why I'm waiting this out until dark. Got about a little more than an hour left. Right now, I'm just kind of got some reading material, learning more about great horned owls as well as anything else, you know. Plus I got my camera manual to read. So yeah, I'll be going back out again soon, and we'll see how that goes. But until then, I'm just going to keep reading. If I heard that tonight, I'd be really scared. Alright, I'm back out again. About a half an hour until sunset. And I figured with the new, you know, kind of set of eyes now that I've kind of relaxed for a little bit, I might see where this great horned owl nest is. I figured because it's getting towards dusk. And I'm back through all the really wet wetlands. Once again. Crazy things I do for a photo. I guess I will make a point, you know, I'm going to be ethical about it. I mean, I'm not going to like bait the owl, obviously, or do any, you know, anything to really harm it or disrupt it, or its nest site. It's like if I find it, that's exciting and it's great for me, but I definitely don't want to disturb the nest. Don't want to mess with any of that. Photograph it from a distance, you know, and hopefully the shots turn out well and you can go home happy. Oh my gosh. I found the owl. I saw it through my binoculars. It's like way up. It's like 80 feet up there, and it looked right towards me. This is it. Just gotta. Wow. Wow. I just gotta watch it now. I didn't expect it to be this close to the entrance over here. Wow. I wish I could show you a video. I'm gonna turn my camera probably. That might help. Wow. I saw something like move way up on the top of this tree over here. I mean, in the whole woodland canopy here. And I thought it was like a squirrel, but then I checked on my binoculars, and it was a great horned owl. Like, it had the yellow eyes, the facial disc, the kind of tubular shape of the whole body. Wow. I mean, that like really startled me. So hopefully, I'm gonna put down this camera now. Hopefully I get a photo. I'll let you know. It's getting good now. All right, I fired off a barrage of shots. Good, decent ones at best. They might just be merely documentation shots. Hopefully when I edit them I can crop them down, you know, a little bit. But I got a nice clear shot, or viewpoint, if you will, of this great horned owl. And it's already been hunting, it looks like, even though it is getting close to dark, so I just didn't expect it to be so early, you know. It's still pretty much daylight out. And it looks like I already got like a rodent or something. It has some hair or something. And I keep hearing making this like kind of call. And it's just sitting on a branch way up top here on this tree. Just like eating it, moving this thing. I don't even know what it's eating. I'm guessing it's a rodent. But wow, this is insane. And as far as I can tell, I saw something else move nearby this one. This might be the only owl that I can tell, but it definitely looks like an adult for sure. It looks big enough. I'm going to guess the male. I think the males hunt, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm afraid to move. I just remember I forgot my flashlight or my headlamp in my car. I kind of wish I had brought my tripod because my arms are getting kind of sore just from hand holding my big Tamron 150 to 600 up. But wow. Oh, yeah, there's definitely a second owl pretty close by to it. Yeah, I saw its wings flap out. This is crazy. Wow. They're so stealthy and silent. Like, I walked the same trail like 2 hours ago, something like that. Didn't even hear them, didn't see them, nothing. They were silent. And now they just, you know, it's getting towards dusk and now they're out. And it's just, wow. If you can't tell, this is my first time seeing a great horned owl, by the way. At least in the wild. I did see one at Glen Helen Raptor Center. But wow, this is just insane. Yeah, there's a second one. But it's like much more, I can't like get a clear shot of it or a clear view, but yeah, it's definitely the second owl. This is just insane. I'm going to keep photographing or observing at least, and we'll see what goes from here. I might move to another position if I'm lucky. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna try that. Yeah, be right back. Okay, the wheezy kind of call I keep hearing like every few seconds, that I think is a juvenile because I just photographed it. It was in a clear line of sight, but it was staring right at me. It was staring right down here, looking at me. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, that's okay. That's a juvenile. I know that for sure now because it definitely looks like one on the photos when I zoom in on the camera. Man, this is insane. So I guess the older adult, the male, is like chewing. Look, I don't know if they're spitting up, regurgitating a pellet, or if they're trying to pick apart food for the baby. I'm gonna guess it's the latter. But oh, I just have no words, honestly. This is just. What a great way to end the day, honestly. Part of this is pure luck, and another part is just persistence and waiting it out, and just being very patient. Yep, I think I see where the nest is at now. Just being very patient and persistent, and a little bit of luck. I'm trying to make my way actually back to the parking lot real quick, see if I can get a tripod, maybe a flash. Actually, I have it right here, but I also have like a better beamer and a flash bracket you can mount it on. I might try that because it's getting kind of dark, but I definitely want to wait this out as long as I can and see if I can get any better photographs. Yeah, nightfall's approaching pretty quick too. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to photographing and going that way, and yeah, I'll catch you in probably a few minutes. Alright, so I went back to my car. Pretty much changed up my whole setup. I ditched the small telephoto, the macro that I had on me still. We're not doing flowers anymore. We got all of the works going on for wildlife. We got this better beamer, which helps, you know, magnify the flash, the external flash. External flash, we got it attached to the camera body. It's still on the hot shoe, but on one of these like little extension, you know, telephone cords. And then this is mounted to a flash bracket, and that's on the other side. And then yeah, and I got my tripod and my ball head, and so yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be out here still. It's already just hit sunset about 5 minutes ago, but I might try some flash here. I don't know. I'm a little worried. I don't know. I've read different stories, different accounts. If it's like ethical or whatever to photograph owls at night using flash, but they're so far away too. I don't feel like it's gonna be a problem. But I can confirm it's a male. There's 3 of them. Yeah, so male, female, and I'm guessing a little owling, I guess is what they call it, owling. So, but yeah, this is really exciting. I already got some pretty cool shots, and you get to see them here, of course. But the night ends like this, you know. We're already, you know, it's good enough for me, basically. Is what I'm gonna say. Sorry, I'm really tired, but it's been exciting. I'm running pretty much only on adrenaline right now, too. But it's not quite pitch black yet, but it's getting really, really dark now. I'm experimenting with using the flash. I'm not really finding the results to be too satisfactory. I don't know. Maybe it's my settings I'm using, but the images aren't too sharp or whatever. It looks like the 3 of them are just perched up on the same tree branch over here. And I'm not sure if they're waiting until after dark to really, you know, start hunting or something, or if they're just, you know, resting for a moment. But yeah, I don't know. Once again, we'll see how long it takes. Because owls are so silent, I didn't notice that 2 of them left, so I'm guessing it's probably the adult male probably is taking the owlet around practicing hunting, because it's April, so it's probably, you know, it's common time to see them nesting, of course, like they are now, and maybe he's just practicing hunting. But I keep hearing it. It sounds like it's closer to me now, the owlet making its kind of like call, but I can't see them, and I don't want to use my flash to flush them out. But you know, here's the camera and all that, but I don't know where they're at. And daytime owling seems a lot easier, but nighttime seems a lot harder. Definitely. Yeah, there's that call again. So till next time, make sure to get out here, get out there, get out everywhere, and have a good night, guys. Good day, or whenever you watch this. Bye.